Hey, welcome back to the show. We've got another video with the Victory VX Kraken MkII. I just really wanted to dial in some big, fat, heavy, beefy tones, and I think Mastodon is absolutely perfect for that. Their riffs are just so heavy and full of gravel, especially on those earlier albums like Leviathan and Blood Mountain and things. And this amp is absolutely perfect at capturing those tones, especially when it's a two-channel monster where the channel 1 is almost like a 5150 blue channel mixed with a JCM 800. It's just got that real classic grit that you expect to find. It's a solid foundation for like a more of a vintage style amp. But then you flick down to the second gain channel and that's just got a more refined sort of heavy thumpier end, like a really modern style distortion that's more like an American based distortion. But between the two, along with a few pedals, you really have got the whole discography of the Mastodon albums. And what's really cool, if you're recording for that sort of guitar tone on an album, I'll be more inclined to have like channel 1 on the left and channel 2 on the right and just blend them both together for a huge fat tone. It's all coming out of the one amp and that's your entire rig, and I think it'd be a fantastic album sound. And if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that I've stepped up my act and I've decided to go pro. It's taken me a long time to realise, but if you want to go pro, you've got to wear shoes. So here we go. Right now I'm just sporting my vintage 2003 Zeros. They were a limited edition back then. They're 20 years old. Gum rubber soles. They're absolutely kick-ass. They've got the big fat padded tongue for comfort and they're absolutely killer, and you guys get a great shot at that in the pro cam, so I hope you enjoy it. Hey, you're in the pro cam. Come on, mate. Come on. There you go. You got to settle down, hey? It's a cool riff. It's funny how all amps have their own personalities and how they react differently to different ODs and things in the front end of them. I found like with the JCM 800, it was really good with the Ibanez Tube Screamer. There was something about that combination that just worked really well. And the Marshall DSL just seemed to really suit the Electric Eye Mud Killer or the Boss SD1. But I found the Kraken MkII just seems to go really well with the Zakk Wylde Overdrive and the MXR 6-band EQ. When we're on channel 1 and you really turn up the Zakk Wylde Overdrive, it starts to really get that gravelly sort of crunchy tone that Mastodon had. Especially when you give it a little bit of presence there and it just really opens that top end up. Sounds just like that Leviathan album. It's just got that really fat sort of tone to it that I love. And for the guitar that I'm using today, it's my MJ Jackson Dominion Mark Morton model 2009. It's equipped with the Bill Kelly and Mojo Tone pickups, which are absolutely amazing. And I'm using Stringjoy strings 10 to 52 out of Nashville, Tennessee. I put these strings on this guitar a few months back and I really just have been waiting for the first one just to snap. They stay in tune perfectly, and I'll be sure to let you know the first one that does actually break and the life you get out of it. I do wipe them down with oil when I finish playing just to get a little bit more life out of them, but needless to say, they're fantastic strings and they're holding up really well. So you can see how usable channel 1 is here. You've got a lot of headroom. You can really push those ODs in front to get big fat tones. But if we go to channel 2 now, I just turn off the Zakk Wylde Overdrive. The switch is getting faulty. There you go. And I find with channel 2, it's a lot drier of a channel and there's not so much sort of hair on the top end. I find just having the MXR6 band just to give that little bump in the mids, it just adds like an edge to that tone. I'll cycle it on and off just so that you can see. I'm just setting it up a little bit better for the tone that I like. It's a lot warmer. Such a cool riff, that whole Black Tongue, the lyrics, the whole bit, it was just so heavy, it was so cool. And I think you can see what I mean, just adding that little bump of mids just to the front end of that tone, just really, it just seems to break it up just that little tiny bit and just get rid of that dryness on the top. But other than that, it's a fantastic tone. All the dials are fairly centered. It's just, I think this tone just really opens up the Kraken and just lets you see exactly like what it's made for. And it's just, it's perfect for these huge fat tones. And this is how I really love to have the amp set, but we can always just fatten things up, just add a little bit more gain and more bass, and we'll just bring the presence back. You'll see in my other videos, it's a really powerful presence style control, but that song, it gets me every time. It's just such a cool song. I get carried away with it. It's just got the best riffs ever. It just sounds so much fun to play. You can just keep on doing it all day. It's tuned down to D, a whole step down, standard tuning, and just find the tab somewhere and just learn it. I promise you'll just have a ball. And while I'm here, and there's a few of you still just holding on, thanks very much. There's a few warm-up exercises that really work for me just to get the right hand working, just to get the left hand working and really strengthen that pinky. And the first one just works really well to get your right hand really accurate and hit the string in the right time where you want it to. And for that, what I do is I just play arpeggios, but I'm inside, outside, alternating, picking the whole thing. So it's... And I practice that just with arpeggios. When you think that you've got that, you can try and move it up one fret at a time, and it puts the next arpeggio starting with an upstroke. So it really just works you out just to try and get that right hand working. And I don't just limit it to those things, I try and play things that are musical because there's no point just practicing things that make no sense. I'd rather practice something that you can actually put into a song somewhere or put into a guitar solo at some point. But if you just alternate that and you play the minors and the majors and whatever arpeggios that you feel like, just alternate, pick everything and just play along the whole strings. Go at your own pace, there's no winners here. I promise you though that you'll just get a lot more accurate with that right hand. And you'll just have a lot more certainty when you're just playing through those riffs. You just won't have a dominant way that you'll play the same riff every time. It won't matter the way if it starts on an upstroke or starts on a downstroke. It makes no difference to you and you're not afraid of that inside-outside picking. And the other exercise is more focused on strengthening that pinky and just getting it as good as the others. You don't realise it that much when you're playing along with riffs and things, but your pinky really does let you down and it just puts out the timing ever so slightly. But when you strengthen that up, you'll just feel that you're so much sharper and so much better. And the exercise that I have for that just feels really bad to start with, but it really does help. And just work it around the fretboard and you'll feel your whole hand just get really sore. I leave the other two fingers on the fretboard when I hammer up and down on that pinky. And you'll notice if you tried that with any other finger, it just feels natural like that. But when it comes to your pinky, it lets the whole team down. So if you can just do those few exercises, it'll strengthen your pinky, your right hand will get sharper. I promise you that you'll see results. But I hope you really enjoyed the show today using the Victory VX Kraken MkII. It's an absolute killer amp. It dials in those huge fat tones and I just really wanted to share that Mastodon style riff with you guys. But until next time, take care. Bye-bye.